All right, this is a good subject. I could repeat this probably once a week, right? Because um, it's one of the things I could repeat once a week. It's it's all the bad information that's out there that's keeping people managing their thoughts, feelings, and symptoms. Right? My face is a little orange here. Why is there? Whatever. So what I'm going to be talking about a lot and repeating is the day-to-day bullshit that you'll be, you know, having to go through while on this journey, and that it's normal and that you need it. You need to feel like shit. You need the symptoms to come up. You need them to come in and out 1,000 times because without them, you can't move forward, right? Because symptoms, when they pop up, they're opportunities to upgrade the programming from dis-ease, right, to ease. So every time a symptom, thought, feeling, sensation pops up, this is your time to pounce. It's prime time, right? It's going to suck. You're not going to like it, but this is how you move forward, right? And while you're doing the work, I'm always hitting this thing. While you're doing the work, you won't feel any different, right? But it pays off in the long run. So people might be like, I'm doing the work and it's just, oh my God, I feel like even worse. What's going on? Why is it that I feel worse? Why, I feel worse now than I did in my first year. This is my second year. Why am I feeling, right? That's that's the journey. Anyway, so for people out there that are dealing with anxiety, intrusive thoughts, OCD looping thoughts, like I was for most of the 3 years, right? Um, there's a lot of bad information out there. And I came across people like Claire Weeks, who changed my life, literally. And I don't know, like with all this Googling and shit, I don't know how I found her information because 99% of the shit that's out there is horseshit and made me feel even worse, right? So, for example, most of the stuff that you see out there, people are talking about, they talk about just be in the present moment because the present moment is all that matters, right? You don't want to time travel to the past, right? You don't want to time travel to the future with all the what if thoughts. So if you're just in the present moment and you hide from your thoughts, then there you go, problem solved. Be in the present moment, right? But the thing is, this is the thing. Anxiety will get you in the past when you time travel. Of course, we know that when you're in a state of fight or flight, your alarms are ringing, and then you start to think about the past, analyze shit like that. Anxiety gets you in the past. Okay. When you start to go to the future, anxiety gets you in the future also. But guess what? Anxiety gets you in the present moment, right? You can't hide from it. It's there. It always finds you because it's you. It's in you. You're you. So it knows you, right? So what's even worse is that when people say, be in the present moment to hide from your thoughts, they're saying. So when you're doing that, when you're forcing yourself to be in the present moment, right? So you don't give into time traveling, it's resistance, right? You're hiding, you're distracting, you're avoiding, right? And the thing is, with these alarms, when they ring, what's the point of an alarm? An alarm is to be heard and acknowledged. That's its job. And if it doesn't get to do its job, it's going to ring louder and louder and louder. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. So, in the classic saying, I'm not sure who said this. I think it was Jung. Is what you resist persists, right? As soon as you try to get rid of, what are you getting rid of? Danger, right? The alarms ring louder and louder and louder, and they start to affect everything in your life. It poisons the well, right? You could be looking at your pillow. That's what happened to me. So I was, for a while, with these anxiety, intrusive thoughts, OCD looping thoughts, I was doing the methods that I learned from the brain retraining programs, to distract and redirect, to avoid, to be in the present moment, to hide from them, right? And it made things worse and bigger and bigger. The alarm started screaming louder and louder, more anxiety, right? Because it was trying to get my attention to the perceived ligers that it's perceiving that were behind me that were going to eat my head off, right? It's trying to get my attention. I'm not listening. I'm avoiding. So what's it going to do? It's going to ramp it up. It's your alarm system. It's got to get your attention. And people are managing and avoiding. So, of course, what you resist persists. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It starts to affect everything in your life, and your world gets smaller and smaller and smaller, right? Until you don't go out anywhere. Because this is what happens, right? You go out, anxiety gets you there. You don't want to feel like that. So you think, well, all right, well, I just won't drive then. Fuck that, right? I just won't go to the grocery store then. With Sarah Nora, right? I didn't like the lineups anyway. I'll just avoid the grocery store. I'll just avoid driving in my car. I'll avoid highways. I'll avoid walking down the street. I'll avoid, oh, it's sunny. I feel, I'll avoid, sounds like I'm saying olive oil, right? So, because you start to feel these alarms screaming at you and you don't want to feel them, you do avoidance behaviors. So you avoid. And then because of that, we distract, we avoid. The alarms get louder and louder. They affect you everywhere you go. It poisons the well, right? You start to avoid things because nobody likes to feel like, I get it. We weren't given a handbook, right? And then you go on YouTube and Google and you have some of these gurus that have, 100, 200,000 people, followers, and they're telling people, just be in the present moment. Just all you have to do is just get a little elastic or count backwards. 5, 4, 3. Notice 5 things in the room. Are there 5 things? Yeah, there's the car, there's the tree, right? You're distracting. This is resistance. You're resisting the alarm. What you resist persists. Right? So then, like I said earlier, the alarms start to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it starts to poison the well. And this is where things don't make any sense anymore, right? I remember I started getting post-traumatic stress phobias. Like, I was a guy that was so chill once upon a time, so laid back. It took a lot to scare me or to make me give a shit, right? I wasn't afraid of nothing that I could remember anyway. And then I go from that to all of a sudden I have random phobias of fields. I didn't like any fields. I was worried that I'd have these horrible things that I needed to go to the hospital for. I was looking at, like I was gonna say, looking at my pillow would trigger me into the thought that I was avoiding. It's interesting how it does that. It's like, oh, the alarm. You're not gonna listen to this? Well, guess what? We're gonna poison the well. We're gonna poison your world so that everything in your life reminds you of this that you're avoiding. It's true, right? This happened to me. I was driving, and my steering wheel would remind me of the things that were haunting me that I was avoiding and distracting, right? So I'm looking at my steering wheel like, oh, fuck, no, right? You get home, you get into your safe room. I had a safe room that I was in because I used to pace back and forth, looping on thoughts. So I had a safe room. I still looped in there. My stomach, I should have had a 6-pack because my stomach muscles were so tight because I was bracing and I had so much muscle tension. Pacing back and forth, right? And then I would look over at the pillows, the beautiful, soft pillows, right? They were triggering the shit out of me. I was freaking out. Any sound, a clock, anything, like a friendly song would set me off. Right? I was turning into, I thought I was going crazy. Then, finally, right? Now I was also fearing the fear. This is where this is where I remember I had anxiety attacks. Of course, this whole thing was as an anxiety attack. This whole thing, I was making exorcisms jealous with all my. I had 75 symptoms plus. Right, I had two safe foods that I could only eat. If I went out of my two safe foods, I would have severe reactions. My life was crumbling. This was when my perfect storm happened. So anyway, every day was hell. But then there'd be times where I was fearing the fear, which was also complicated because for some reason one day I had an anxiety attack at 11 o'clock a.m. Right, for some reason it was just like it hit me, and I didn't know how to handle this stuff. I used to go to the hospital 3 times a week. Right, I thought I was having heart attacks constantly, and panic attacks, anxiety attacks. So the way I was responding to these anxiety attacks made them come every day at 11 o'clock a.m. because I was anticipating it to come, that it would come, because it came that one time. I resisted it. I avoided it. I freaked out. I tried to get rid of it. I tried to stop it. Right? I tried to fix it, analyze it. Right? Which just tells the brain, hey, he is in danger. Let's ramp it up. We got it. There's an intruder. Let's get the troops out there. Let's get the tanks. Let's get the barbed wire and the dogs. Right? He's got a fighter. He's got to fight or flee. He's in danger. He's telling us he's in danger. So the brain amped it up. And it was crazy every day at 11 o'clock. I thought, well, what the hell's going on? And at the time, I had a coach who didn't know how to deal with this kind of stuff. They were a brain retraining coach. They were good at, you know what they were good for? Giving me reassurance because they had the same symptoms as me and they recovered. So I was paying them big bucks just so that I could ask them questions. Like, did you recover from this? Yes, I did. It all melted away. Right? But they didn't really know how to handle this crazy anxiety. And I remember she was telling me, she's like, okay, so this anxiety keeps happening every day. Yeah, the panic attack. I freak out around 11 o'clock. Okay. So do you have this at 11 at night? I'm like, no, not at all. Not 11, I'm good. I'm safe. Okay, check this out. I'm like, okay, what? She's like, what I want you to do, when it's close to 11 a.m. and it's about to happen, I want you to pretend it's 11 p.m. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, are you fucking serious? And I understand, I'm like, oh yeah. Because then if I do that, because I'm good at 11 p.m., right? 11, okay, yeah, you know what? Let me write that down. Bullshit, right? So not only was I resisting at 11 a.m. now, right? And I was pretending that it was 11 p.m. I started getting panic attacks at 11 p.m. now. So now I was really screwed constantly. Anyway, so finally, and this is the thing, I was finally finding the way with the mind body space. I was doing brain retraining, right? I started healing physically, which is great. But the thing is, the more I started healing physically, the more my anxiety ramped up. Post-traumatic stress, OCD looping thoughts, right? Phobias, right? All the mental shit skyrocketed. And I was resisting them, trying to get rid of them, trying to really, I gotta engage, I gotta distract. Okay, this water has 500, okay, right? And I was like doing chores. I was telling tell me what to do. I'll do anything. Like, what do you want me? Helmut, go cut the grass, Helmut. Go, the grass is long. You'll be okay, Helmut. Relax. You're going to, like, for friends would be like, dude, just calm down. Dude, yeah, I know. Calm down, right? I'm like, oh, what did I think of that? So my mom's like, hey, okay, take the garbage and put it over there. Organize everything, or pick up the sticks, and then cut the grass, Helmut, and then you can do it. You can do stuff, Helmut. We have a lot of things you can do. Find a hobby and go and do it. And pay attention to the trees, the birds, right? Look around. You really enjoy life, Helmut. It's okay. It will go away, Helmut. It's okay, right? So, sure, it would help keep me busy, but I was surviving because I was avoiding having that next panic attack. Like I was constantly feeling anxious, of course, but I did not want to have that panic attack because that panic attack, when I had it, it was so strong because I was resisting it strongly, if that's even a word, right? So the harder it came, the harder I tried to stop it, which made it harder, which made it haunting, right? My mom, like, I was freaking out with my mom staring at me. I was like, I don't know, it feels like there's a monster inside me. I'm Roy, yeah, I was on the phone. I was like, Edmund, it's okay. I had anxiety. It's going to be Mom, but it feels like there's a monster inside me. And my dad be in the background goes, put the monster back in the cage then. Well, right. And then I remember I was in the kitchen because I had to race home, because I was wanted to be with my mom because just you just feel somewhat safer, right? And then yeah, I was there, and then my mom's talking, and I'm freaking out. I'm strong. I'm really I'm like my strength, like I'm physically, that's the word I was trying to look for. I was physically trying to hold off this anxiety and stop it, and looking at my mom in the face, it took everything, all the energy out of me. That when I looked at my mom's face, her face started to morph, right? I was so freaked out that her face was like, Elmwood, you're going to be right. I was like, oh my god. I knew it wasn't. I knew it was just me ramping up so hard, right? My muscles are so insanely intense, right? And then I went upstairs, and she's like, "Go, go to the bed, go lay in bed, take my take my tablet, and yeah, I gotta keep busy." So I was on the tablet. All the 99% of all the bullshit information out there, for some reason, something above, my higher self, my guides, God, whatever it is, consciousness, the universe, decided to give me the one little bit of information, right? I clicked the clear will. I don't know. I was reading anything and everything. I didn't even really pay attention to people's names. And I'm like, right? And I read it, and it was like, fast forward a half hour later, I'm coming down the stairs. I'm like, all right, I'm out. See you later. My mom was like, where are you going? I'm fine. I'm good. See, I told you I was going to go. Yeah, you're right. Well, bullshit. No, I figured it out, right? And then I forgot about it, and I kept battling my anxiety and my mental alarms. But eventually, came in contact with some people in the mind body space that said, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I went through the same thing. Go check out ERP therapy. Check out Claire Weeks." I'm like, I think I know Claire. Right? I think I might check out the Dare Response. It's a great app. It does Claire Weeks stuff, right? So then I went down that rabbit hole, and I started to learn the world of that by making all the mistakes. And at the end of the day, right, some people might be like, okay, could you get to the point? Like, could you come on, I'm having an anxiety attack right now. Can you, right? So what I did to process my mental alarms was just to allow it, right? And the way I did it, it was a learning curve too, though. First, the way I did it was, I was like, okay, whatever it is, a thought, feeling, sometimes it didn't have a face. Sometimes there was no target that I could hold. Usually you can be like, okay, it's this symptom, it's this thought that I'm gonna die, it's this blah blah blah. But sometimes it's just this energy, right? So then the way I did it was, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it an image. It's gonna be like a purple cloud or purple storm, right? I'm gonna go, okay, Limby, my limbic system. I go, hey Limby, show me what you got. Show me the fear. Bring that to me, right? And I would picture a cloud, purple cloud, coming towards me, and I would invite it in. This is groundbreaking. You allow it. You invite it in instead of going like this. No, I don't like it. Distract, avoid, right? Try to count back. Get away, right? What are you doing? You're trying to get the tiger away. You're trying to get the danger away. The brain goes, oh, that's danger. I'll keep the alarm on. Right? So if you want to, right, if you do this, what resists, persists. So think of it that way. What resists, persists. You trying to get away, get rid of, will get bigger, right? So instead of doing this, I had to go, come here. No, allow. Come here. Embrace. Surrender. Right? I would tell the brain, Limby, bring it to me. And I would picture it as a cloud coming through my chest, my throat. And you know what? Not everybody, not all the time, but you could feel some of that energy burn. It's dissolving, right? It's a 10 out of 10 nightmare, right? And you're going, all right, Limby, show me what you got. Show me the fear. Give me it. Give it to me. Show it to me, right? And you picture it as a cloud coming through, and it's at a 10 out of 10. You're allowing it. You're acknowledging the alarm. You're going, thank you for sending me that alarm. I know what you're doing. You're trying to keep me alive. You're protecting me, right? I'm acknowledging it. I'm thanking you for doing what you're doing. You're working perfectly. There's nothing wrong with you, right? There's nothing wrong with your brain. It's just an alarm system that's ringing alarms because you're running a certain program. And the way you've been responding has been keeping those alarms on. Well, it's not its fault. It's your fault. But it's not your fault either. Because we haven't been given a notebook or a handbook. We didn't know. So what I did is I would go, okay, let me show me the fear. And I would process it. The energy would come from a 10 down to maybe like a 7. I'm like, and with like anxiety attacks, if I had a random anxiety attack, it would just done, gone, right? But with symptoms, thoughts, feelings, some of those things take longer to control, to bring down, for them to stop, because you got some work to do. This is a long game, right? Throughout the years, and I know some of you guys hear me say this spiel, so you guys probably could repeat and join me if you know this one, right? But I got a little list here of some of the things that might have brought you to this survival state, right? So surgeries, medications, antibiotics. I was on antibiotics 10 times. Drinking, smoking. I could go like peas and carrots. Drugs, toxic relationship. Maybe you were with a narcissist for 4 years. Toxic work environment. Maybe your coworkers are backstabbers, and your boss is a bit of a shithead, right? Life situations, events. Maybe you were suppressing your emotions for too long, right? Social media, politics, news, world issues, right? Taking supplements. Maybe you went through some trauma, abuse. Maybe some hardcore diets, loved ones passing, right? Maybe you just had a shitty mental diet. Facebook groups, going down all the toxic rabbit holes of bullshit, right? Me, I had pneumonia, the flu, bronchitis, all, and then you go on the medications. Maybe you had just had a fear of the symptoms, right? A symptom happened because you're doing too many of those exams, a lot of pressure, university. You had an anxiety attack, it freaked you out, and now you're freaked out. And then you got more symptoms, and there you go. You're in the hamster wheel. What else is there? Maybe something happened, an accident happened, right? So then we get out of control. So all these things bring us from 0, which is ease, to survival, right? We're at 1,000. We're supposed to be at 0. This is what's supposed to happen, right? You're at 0. You see a tiger, right? You're supposed to kill it. So when you see the tiger, you go up to 1,000, you kill it, you go back down to 0. This takes what? An hour? And you're back to normal? But what happens is, right, we're dealing with ligers throughout our whole lives constantly. We're not getting any relief, right? We're not killing them, or we're not being safe. So eventually, the brain hardwires you there into this state, and this becomes your new 0. This is your 0 now. A survival state. It's not because you're dirty. It's not because you're clean. It's not because it's a bad thing or a good thing. It just is. That's the program that you're running now. And it's doing that for survival because your history has shown that you need to have your alarm system always ready for the next liger that's around the corner. right? So what we got to do is slowly bring that survival state down, right? And this is where, you know, for me, I had to do a program. This is where you can do the 8 pillars of recovery, right? So you're doing behind the scenes work every day. I know it sounds like, oh, we got to do work. Yeah, you got to do work because you need to update the software and need some support. And that's it. Everything else, the brain knows how to create neural pathways, right? When you bring your baseline back down to zero and you start to empty your allostatic loads because they're filled up, right? All the bullshit you went through with your life, a drop here, a drop there, right? Your ex-girlfriend cheated on you and lied to you for the whole 4 years, right? That's more than, it's probably like this many drops, right? Um, you had, you took antibiotics, so 8 times, 10 times, right? So when you start to fill up right here is the threshold when symptoms start to manifest. And then you keep going with life. You had maybe COVID, Lyme, right? It starts to overflow. Symptoms, it's a shit show. When it overflows, this is a perfect storm, right? This is when you're like bedridden. Your life is come to a halt. You're making exorcisms jealous. It's a nightmare, right? But it all makes sense how it got there. And also, usually what happens is the last drop that broke the camel's toe is usually the last thing that gets the blame, but it's not that thing. Just so you guys are aware of. It's not that thing, but that thing gets the blame. So it's not the mold, not the EMF, right? Not the COVID, not the Lyme, not the food, not the moon, not the, right? Fill in the blanks. Because if you were regulated running a program of ease and your allostatic loads were down here, and if your survival state was off and alarms were off and updated, your system would be able to handle everything with ease. It wouldn't even be a thing, right? It wouldn't even be a thing. Everything would be working in unison. The liver, the biome, everything. It knows what it's supposed to do. It doesn't need us to micromanage it and fix it or heal the leaky gut or try to figure it out. It all does it itself. And that's the magic. You heal as a consequence of updating the alarm system, right? And that also includes getting rid of the allostatic loads through processing your emotions. True, right? And that's where Sam specializes in. But the thing is, this is where the allowing comes in. I use the allowing for everything. In the beginning, it was a bit of a learning curve, right? Because the allowing kind of seems like it's scary. But eventually you dip your toe into the allowing here and there. You do 30 seconds each times 200 to 500 times a day. That was me. That was my 9 to 5. My 9 to 5 was creating a routine. Because I'll tell you something. If you're sitting on the couch doing nothing and ruminating, trying to figure shit out, the brain's going to hijack you. It's going to win. It has to win. That's its job. Right? So I needed to have a routine that I was engaging in. Doing the work every day. Doing my visuals. Elevating for 1 hour. Doing my visuals for an hour. Being aware of all behavior patterns. Right? Exposure and stages. Being prepared. Creating a bubble. Putting all the research on the shelf. Routine. Movement in nature. All these pillars. And it's not anything dangerous. It's not rocket science. But that's what's going to get you out of it. And the allowing was the missing piece, right? It's the OCD elephant in the room that all these other programs don't talk about. It's true. You'll find when you try to do some of these programs that they don't talk about the OCD elephant in the room. And some people are like, why do you always talk shit? Well, because it's true. Right? Sure, I know they mean well. And you know, people do heal here and there, but it's the missing piece that almost everybody that I've seen ends up having to jump ship and find this. Either somebody helps them and they find it and it's a missing key and then they get the recovery. Or some of these people are not fully recovered. Right? So allow, let it do its thing, ask for more. And the thing is, asking for more came a little bit later. In the beginning, I wasn't able to do this right away by going, yeah, give me more. Ask for, like, for me in the beginning, it was more like, I'm going to learn how to allow, because I've learned to resist it for so long that I had to be aware of me resisting. So throughout the day, I would ask myself, I'm like, all right, what are you doing right now? Are you resisting? I'm like, shit. Yeah, I'm resisting. I'm trying to ignore that thought. I'm trying to avoid it. I'm trying to keep busy. So many times, because I hardwired that habit in of resisting my thoughts, avoiding, trying to figure out, trying to distract, trying to get rid of this thought so I don't have it, so I don't feel, right? So I would catch myself. This is what you should do also. Throughout the day, once in a while, go, hey, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? Number one, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about symptoms? Right? Is this going to support your recovery? Probably not. So be aware of it. Catch it. Go, oh, shit. Okay. Even if you don't change it right away, at least the beginning, start to catch things. You're going to slip. You're human. Right? I failed all the time. I was doing this work, and a couple months later, I was still going to the hospital 2 or 3 times a week. It takes some time. Eventually, I started to build that leverage of indifference. Over time, my symptoms became my friends. I always brought them over for tea. They became a part of the furniture. They moved in. And the more they were there, I needed them to come in and out, in and out. New ones, old ones returning. Because every time it comes in, it's an opportunity to expose to it without white knuckling or surviving, to change the response so that the brain can update and go, okay, he's not in danger. Let's turn that alarm off. And in time, it starts to update. And then you start to notice the transformations. Right? It takes time. You allow it. You need the symptoms. Because without the symptoms, without feeling like shit, with the symptoms there terrorizing you, it's not an opportunity. You need the opportunities there to make change, to update, to move forward. So remember that. If you're having an easy day, it's nice. Yeah, I get it. You need a break here and there. But we want the shitty days, because that's the days, that's where the work is. The more shitty days you have and that you don't waste them because they're opportunities, the faster you move forward in leaps and bounds. All right. And that's it for today. Today was just a quickie, a short one. I just want to say hi to some people. And just say hi, and then please like, share, and subscribe. I want to get this channel growing so that we can bring more awareness to some of these methods so people can get their lives back, right? This shit ain't rocket science. It does feel like it when you go. It's the worst feeling. You know, this work is hard, but eventually, when you get to the other side, peace, and you will get there. I promise. It's just don't quit. Be consistent. Right? The allowing, yeah, that's a bit of a learning curve. You will get it. Keep going. Right. So we just need more kale. Yeah, I hear you. Fucking, I went through that phase. I went through every phase. I tried everything. I did it all. I remember I was drinking green smoothies. They were disgusting. They were almost slimy. Some of the shit I did, oh my, I'll talk about it sometime. You guys would be like, oh wow, this guy's an idiot. Why did he? What was he? I was desperate. I was willing to try everything, anything to heal. And you can go down lots of rabbit, like healing the gut, right? Oh my God, I got my mitochondria, my motherfucker gene. I got a detox because I got metals. Oh my God, my leaky gut, there's holes. Oh my God, yeah, because the blood-brain barrier, diatomaceous earth. Oh my God, so I gotta heal that. This is serious. Now this is serious. Candida, right? It can ruin you. Candida can. Right? I have a t-shirt that says Candida can ruin your life. Oh my God. Right? Horseshit. All bullshit. SIBO. Oh my God, I have both. SIBO. I have all the constipated. Oh my God, I got it all. I got it all. Right? It's all smokes and mirrors horseshit. And then you got these naturopaths that are given all these supplements that make things worse. And then they do the tests. Like, well, look at your biome here. You can see the pie chart there. You're fucked. Look at you. You're a mess. Your nervous system. I had a guy testing my muscles. Oh my. And I believe in muscle. I believe it. Hey, I'm a spiritual guy, right? But they're doing this type of, like, I already think naturopaths, the whole thing is just functional medicine is just out the window. Just, right? When you regulate, you support your nervous system, you update, everything regulates by itself. All the things go away. You don't need to take these 1,000 supplements that cost an arm and a cock. Right? No. So anyway, he would have like 5 supplements, and he'd put them on the chair. He'd be like, all right, we're just going to make sure that your body's going to accept these supplements. Right? So I'm just going to hold this supplement, and then I'm going to move your leg. Okay, this one's good. This one. Oh no, it's not. It's not. It won't take that one. We'll take that. Okay, so we found the ones that's going to work. Take these. After you're done with those, we're going to do the Candida protocol, Candida kill protocol. You're going to kill the Candida, and then we're going to get it out. We're going to collate everything out. You're going to take some activated charcoal, right? We got to make sure we detox everything after you killed it, right? And then we're going to do for round 2, kill the Candida again, right? All horse shit. Underlying horse. Right? Oh man. You know what? Leave the Candida. It's doing its thing. You're in a survival state. Right? It's a survival mechanism. Leave it alone. When you recalibrate, this is the thing. For 10 years I was trying to kill the Candida and get rid of it by eating high protein, low carb, right? Just to keep it somewhat at. It was so hard, right? I did this one thing where I took what was it? Pine needle oil from the special force in the States. One bottle, this big, $100. Turpentine, right? They had this thing. I don't even want to repeat it. Some of you guys might know. To get rid of Candida, people swore by it. It was this ancient old healing thing. I bought into it, man. Wow. I'm surprised that I was guarded. I had angels. My guides were protecting me with some of the stupid shit that I did. But one day I'll talk about all this stuff if I can remember. Anyway, so please like, share, and subscribe. Tawny, how's it going? I have a question about extreme fatigue. I'm really going through it now. I'm so tired. Do I just allow this? Well, for me, what I would do is make sure you're doing all the pillars. You're doing the work every day. You're following. And I always say before I even help people with anything, right? And I did this too. I always say, work with your doctor, cross your I's, and dot your T's. Right? Do the tests. I did all the tests, right? Been to the hospital 3 times a week, constantly. Eventually, I was like, okay, I did enough testing, right? The nurses saw me coming. They're like, they got mad. They did not like me. So please, just cover your ass, get the test, because they will help you, right? When you have the what if thoughts come up, so you don't go down the rabbit holes, right? And you stop researching. So get that out of the way. And I say that for everybody's journey. When it starts, before you even go get tests, get it all done. Go, all right, I'm done. Now I'm going to start with my journey, because it's going to come to it. Trust me. If you don't have those done, it's going to come. The brain's going to use that against you and slap you in the face with it. So we want you to be prepared. We want you to be prepared so you have momentum going forward. You're going to fail here and there. Yeah. But I want people to have success. So what I always say, Work with your doctor, cross your T's. Oh, cross your T's. I did it. And dot your I's. And then do the pillars. So do all the pillars, get the schedule going, stick to it every day. Don't analyze the symptoms. Let them do their thing, right? Because we like to analyze. We see patterns. We're like, well, I had the egg on Tuesday and I had it today again and I didn't have symptoms, but now I don't know. So you start to, right? Dog's having a dream, right? Analyze like Einstein, right? Carry is a tool, and you have the theory of relativity. E equals mc L. I think it's L. I don't know. I think it's squared. Anyway. Hi Ian. Hi Fourth the King. Christine Kennedy. Kevin. What's going on, Kev? Legs went numb 3 days ago, and before this, I was making great progress. The symptom is hard to deal with. Yeah. So the thing is, we allow them, we let them do their thing, we build that leverage of indifference. But the thing is, in the beginning, when you have a new symptom coming in, you're gonna have a freak out here and there. There's no trick to it. You gotta allow yourself to have freakouts here and there because it's an introduction to the new symptoms. Like, right? Yeah, okay, let's get that out of the way. Right? Get to know it. You freak out. The next level is get to know it. Have it come in and out. We need it to come in and out. You need to have the symptom to go off, go, and come back. Okay, can you come back another 1,000 times so that I can be bored of you? It's to the point that I almost want you to be here so that I actually feel reassurance when you're here. I had that. I had a couple symptoms. In the beginning, they were so scary. I don't know how I made it through. That eventually I became friends with them and I became indifferent and bored. And then when they came once in a while, I'd be like, oh, it's good to see you because I know you're going to go again. You know, I'd rather have you than this other new symptom that I just got. So it takes time, but you need these symptoms to come in and out. Yeah, I had numb hands, feet, face, tingling, cold, hot, clammy sensations, phantom sensations, sensations of water dripping. Felt like somebody was holding something hot against it. Felt like, yeah, water dripping on my neck, water, like weird phantom smells. Sometimes I thought I saw some shit. Sometimes I heard things that weren't really there. Right? The nervous system the brain can do all kinds of crazy shit. People are subscribing. Yes, I love it. The word is spreading. It's just crazy. And I hope, I don't want to jinx anything. I hope it keeps going. So we're trying to, keep up with pushing content, keep the algorithm happy, so that we can grow and spread the word and help people. Please tell me how to not resist. I want to go by going, right? And by understanding that when you go, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to be scared. Like with me, I remember going to the beach. I used to go 3 times a week, right? Which is crazy. I spent a lot of gas. And it's weird. The universe provided me with gas money. And I was broke. It was so weird. Anyway, I just did it. And it sucked. It was an hour and a half away. I'd get halfway there. I'd be like, okay, this is the point of no return. We got to keep going. You get there. Maybe it's a holiday. All these muscle cars are driving by. They're loud. All these people can't find parking. I have a senior dog. It's hot outside. You get to the beach, cold water. The dog wants to go, but there's people around, Karens. There's all these noises, right? Everything felt like a war zone. But it's great opportunities to update. Yes, you're going to be triggered. When you get home, you'll probably be triggered for another couple of days after that. Right? You might be looping a little bit. Your survival state will move up a bit. But we keep doing that. Exposure, changing the way you respond to, even though you hate it, right? We can't force ourselves to be neutral. I know we try our best, but still try. It's an attitude thing. It's an attitude. And the more you do that, the more it updates. And eventually, after the 50th time when you're at the beach, you don't even notice these alarms. They're gone. Wow, I can be at the beach and I feel good at the beach. Yeah, I'm dealing with some looping thoughts about other things. But I'm able to be at the beach with no problems. So it takes time to get there. Awesome CKG in Sam on allowing great stuff. Yeah, we have this kind of a duo thing going on. I'm here the day to day. I try to be here as much as I can with the lives and a couple videos here and then I'll do content with me in the truck where I kind of help people being in the trenches, right? I talk about my symptoms, the bullshit I went through, and I kind of make light of it because I can laugh about it because I overcame it. And looking back, right, it's not this big monster that we think it is. It's smokes and mirrors. So I try to help people with the day-to-day being in the trenches of this shit show journey. And Sam, she specializes in emotional processing and all about the science. So for the people that want to go deeper, right, she's there with her content. And if you're too triggered, you don't have to watch it. You don't need it to recover, right? It's just the information. For some people, they need to know the details of everything, right? Me, I couldn't. It was too triggering. I kept it simple. I intuitively did it, and I fully recovered. And plus, the great thing is, the allowing covers everything, right? We're not here to dig. We're not here to dig up for trauma or nothing like that, right? You work with what the brain sends you on a platter, right? No digging for trauma or unicorns. Nah. You just work with what the brain sends you on this plate. If it brings you something in the past, okay, right? You allow it, you feel it, you let it do its thing, and you engage. Make sure to engage. That's the big, important part. Don't miss that part, right? Allow and engage. Repeat times a million, right? So you just work with what the brain sends you on a platter. And that covers everything. It's beautiful. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. Today's Friday. I'll see you tomorrow. Love it. Tawny, subscribers are increasing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much. Love you guys. Appreciate you. And join me tomorrow. Not sure what time I'll be on, but thank you very much. Yeah, that's my goal. Is try to bring some comedy into this stuff, right? To make some people laugh. So, right, to elevate. That's my goal. So, love you guys. And get out there and get uncomfortable. And don't give up. Keep going. Be consistent. Never miss a day. You will recover because the brain will have no choice but to change.